Hello and welcome to the Next Gen Racing YouTube channel for our weekend preview. And hold on 2 seconds, this isn't Jack joining me today. Yes, ladies and gents, he's come on the channel just once before. It was quite a while ago, I think, back at the 2021 Cheltenham Festival. It's Michael Willoughby, otherwise known as Racing Willow on Twitter. How are you, mate?
I'm very good, thank you, Sam. How are you?
Yeah, big shoes to fill this for yourself.
Massive shoes to fill. I tune into the podcast regularly. I see the way that Jack tips up. There's nice prices. I've come in with a few big swingers myself and hoping to come away landing a big part for sure.
That's very generous towards Jack, him landing big price. It's been a little while. I mean,
Torquato Tasso, wasn't
it? He's still living off that. He's probably going to put the horse up again this year. It won't be the same price.
I'd be as well. I'd be living off that if I was in his shoes for sure.
I think literally only like a month ago he's taken that out of his Twitter bio, saying that he was living off it. It's taken him just under a year for him to remove that, which is that's Jack, and he's actually out in Antigua at the moment. Those who follow him on Instagram will actually have seen a shot of him. Oh God, I don't know what it was, but he looked like he was part of a James Bond movie, and I took the mick out of him. I'll put the image up on screen now so everyone can see it. But that is the biggest pose I've ever seen. That's awful from Jack. He's going to hate the fact that I put that up on the screen as well. Right, let's talk about racing. That's what we're here to do. We are going to be covering Newbury and Ayr for this weekend. But before we do so, let's talk about the big talking point from the week, and that's to do with the world's greatest horse, or debatably the world's greatest horse, with Flightline now in the picture. But it's Baaeed. William Haggis on Wednesday announced that the horse will be going for the Champion Stakes rather than the Arc de Triomphe. Now, in my opinion, Willow, this is a sensible decision. I know that racing fans wanted to see this happen, this horse go to the Arc, but I think William Haggis has done what's right for the horse, and look, going for a race that surely is his to win.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be very short odds to go and win that race. I do think it's a bit disappointing, though, isn't it? Because he could have gone to that next level if he had gone and won the Arc, or ran even respectably in the Arc. But actually, given the field sizes, you'd have expected him to win it. I just wonder if there's a world where we get a bottomless ground Champion Stakes and then good to soft, or maybe even good ground Arc. Will they be ruined that decision to maybe not go there? I get it, though, entirely. I think there's an element of William Haggis going for the Trainers' Championship as well, which he will never admit to that. Obviously, he wouldn't, but that's a massive amount of money he could take into that and most probably get him over the line. But he'll be disappointed, but at least it's a good chance for his UK fans to see him grace the turf for one last time.
Yeah, and there's actually a debate going on that the Champion Stakes could actually end up to be better than the Arc itself. I mean, a lot have said that you could potentially see Luxembourg go for the 10 furlong race, Verdani, Adayar, maybe even Ernesto go for that race as well. I mean, that would be some race, wouldn't it?
It would. No, it would. I do think a lot of the more international runners, I know a few Japanese horses will be coming over more for the Arc. I do feel that now it's been penciled in that the Champion Stakes is the plan. A few of the horses will push themselves off to the Arc. I think when Baaeed was there, it was them scaring them back into the Champion Stakes. It will work the other way around. I can see the Champion Stakes maybe Verdani will turn up there actually, but we'll see how that one goes.
That'd be an intriguing matchup. But yeah, now the Arc could look very different, and potentially this could be Japan's year. We'll look forward to previewing that in a couple of weeks' time. But let's get into this weekend's racing. Like I say, we're looking at Newbury and Ayr. The Mill Reef being the highlight from Newbury, and obviously the Ayr Gold Cup will be Ayr's big race this weekend. Hopefully, with the help of Willow, we can get a few winners for you guys. So starting off with Newbury, the 140 on Saturday is the Dubai Duty Free Legacy Cup Stakes. It's a Group 3 over 1 mile and 3 furlongs. This is open to 3-year-olds and older horses. Dubai Future and Siskany are 4-1 favourites. Kamari 6-1. Solid Stone 7-1. Lysander is 10-1. Stay Alert 11s and 14 bar these. Now, Godolphin dominate the market here, Willow. Are you with or against them?
I am with the Godolphin horses, but most probably not the ones that you'd be thinking. I'm quite against Siskany. Haven't seen him yet. I sort of believe that this might be teeing himself up for something a little bit later on this season. And Dubai Future, although running very well and producing a very solid performance in the Wolferton Stakes, he then disappointed last time as well. So I did land on Kamari. It wouldn't be my strongest opinion, but I would have to give a little vote to him. On jockey bookings alone, he looks like potentially the third string. But he has useful enough form from his 3-year-old days, and he's just been a slow burner at 4. I think the drop back to 1 mile 4 furlongs really helped him, and he's going the right way. And I reckon he could be in the shake-up here. What price did you say it was? 6 to 1.
6 to 1 best priced I've seen. Actually,
6 to
well
1.
back throughout the day. I saw 8 to 1 earlier in the day.
Yeah,
so obviously
it
well
was 8 to
supported with
1.
Probot on board.
Yeah, so 6 to 1. I think you can get 3 places on that. I reckon he'll be definitely featuring in the finish.
Yeah, agreed. He's actually my selection for the race as well. I mean, behind Rebels Romance, the last day and the race prior at Newmarket, the last day he was at Glorious Goodwood in the Glorious Stakes, and I look at that form of Rebels Romance, and I know Rebels Romance has gone on to win a Group 1, albeit out in Germany, but it looks fairly good form. And as you mentioned, a slow burner at 4, but this horse was kind of running in these sort of staying trips. I mean, first race over in the UK this year was in the Road to the Ebor handicap, I think it was, behind the likes of Without a Fight, Yukon Glen. And I just think the drop back to a mile 4 has really helped this horse, and potentially this drop back to what's a weird distance in a mile 3 furlongs could help even more. David Probert's taken the ride, like you say, probably the number 1. I don't know actually. Do you think Kirby's the number 1 booking for Appleby here, or?
I think Kirby's the number 1 booking. Yeah.
You reckon? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, with everything with Nahani and everything like that. But I've just got this feeling that, you know, Probert's a jockey who I've loved all season. I've just got a feeling that he'll be well suited to this horse. I mean, the horse didn't look like he stayed the last day, but I just have this feeling that a mile 3, this could be just an ideal distance. I know we don't see it very often, but I'm just thinking that potentially Kamari at 6 to 1 looks a good price, and the outsider of the 3 Godolphin horses. So myself and Willow are both siding with Kamari in the 140 at Newbury. Let's move on to the 215 then, the Dubai International Airport World Trophy Stakes. This is a Group 3 over 5 furlongs, and Manakan is your 7 to 2 favourite. Tis Marvellous 4 to 1, Mit Bahi 7 to 1, Chill 17 to 2, and double figures bar these. Now I think Manakan can just keep on improving here for me, Willow. It was a listed race at Donny the last day, but did this with ease. I genuinely, with this horse, the amount of improvement this horse is putting in, I genuinely think he could be a Group 1 horse next year. I'm convinced. He started off this season as a handicapper of 102. I know he's only been rated £5 higher now up to 107, but I'm convinced the next year this horse could make into sort of a 115 rated horse at some point. There's plenty to like about him. I just love horses at the age of 3 who, from run to run, just seem to improve and improve. Now, he's up against Tis Marvellous, who's been an excellent servant for Clive Cox, but I just think we know the ceiling with that horse there. And Mit Bahi, I just don't think as good as everyone thought he could be. I mean, there was a lot of speculation after Sandown this could be the next sprinting star. I don't think that he's really turned out to be this. And Chill finished 5th in what was a messy race behind Minzao in the Sprint Cup. I'd probably say he's the number 1 danger to my selection, Manakan here. Have I summed that up right, Will, or do you disagree with me on some of those points?
I agreed with some of the points. Manakan turning into a Group 1 performer, given the state of the 5 furlong division, then you could argue that could even be up to that level right now. Wasn't my selection for the race, though. I'm probably a bit more sweeter on Mit Bahi than you. He was progressing really nicely at the start of this season, ran really well in group companies. I think that second to Razel and the Coral Charge was a strong piece of form as well, considering he got cut off and stayed on strongly late on. He did bomb out at Goodwood, though, and I imagine that's what you were sort of leaning to, being a Goodwood fanatic.
Yeah.
Some horses don't like the track, and there's a chance that this horse is one of them. They've given him a short break, very short break, only 50 days. And I'm just hoping that he can return to somewhat of his best form. I imagine Tis Marvellous is going to be the horse they all have to get to the standard of. He's obviously run in this race a couple of times. I think he finished 3rd in the race last year, maybe even 2nd the year before that as well. I wouldn't be as keen on Chill as you, though. That horse, I don't think she's been as good this year as last year, and most probably flattered in what was, as you said, a messy Sprint Cup. Was beaten 6 lengths by Minzao. So I'm not too keen on Chill. I think Mit Bahi and Manakan, the 2 3-year-olds, will be battling out at the finish.
Okay, yeah, no, interesting opinions with regards to Mit Bahi. I do agree. I mean, it was after that Coral Charge behind Ra, so I know the horse probably should have won that race, like you kind of said. But I don't know. Like, there was a lot of people hyping this horse up, saying, "Oh my God, that horse would have won with ease," and this horse can go on to much bigger things. It just didn't seem to happen. I wasn't that taken at Goodwood with this horse. Maybe we could see better. I mean, Roger Varian's horses, and there's a horse I love who I think is actually going to be winning a Group 1 this season. That's Dragon Symbol. I've got a feeling he's going to go on to much bigger things. I've got a feeling he's going to win the Champion Sprint, by the way, Dragon Symbol. That's an outrageous opinion at 25 to 1.
Disgusting, mate. It's not 2021, mate. You need to give that one up sure.
I was very impressed the last day, and I've got a feeling this horse stepping up to be really good. But look, Mick Baaeed could actually turn out to be a decent sprinter. I know things haven't quite worked out as of yet, but as you say, a 50-day break or just over 50-day breaks, I've got a feeling that may help, but it's not for me. I'm going to be with Manukyan. I'd like to see this horse really take another step forward and then go on to much bigger things. There's our opinion on the sprint.
Could I give a quick note for one at a bigger price as well? And that would be Method at 20 to 1. Again, from that Coral Charge form, finished third that day. Since then has been running over 6 furlongs, dropping back to 5 furlongs for the first time. Might just see a better performance. I'm pretty sure he won a listed race at Newbury as a 2-year-old as well. So coming back to the scene of one of his bigger wins, although 2 years ago at 20 to 1 may run well.
Okay, yeah, big price mention there. Method, yeah, I remember Method was really hyped as a 2-year-old, wasn't he? Just it hasn't quite happened since. But maybe this could be the day back at Newbury on Saturday. So let's move on to the big race from Newbury, which is the Dubai Duty-Free Mill Reef Stakes.
I know who you're tipping here, that is for sure.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
Okay, 100%. Fine. Okay, this is a Group 2 for the 2-year-olds over 6 furlongs. The first of 2 2-year-old races we're going to be looking at today. And Sakir is the 13 to 8 favourite here. Should have been a ring is 9 to 4. Charin is 7 to 1. Heroism is 8 to 1. Wallop, what a name that is, 16 to 1 and 20 to 1 and bigger the rest. Now, I actually thought we were going to see Sakir run in the Middle Park next week. I mean, obviously the horse could still do that. I know the horse has an entry in the race, but this is the target. It's going to be a lot easier, and I was very impressed the last day. I mean, look, Willow, it looks between the top 2 in the market. I'll be totally honest. You think you know who I'm going to be putting up in this race, but I actually don't have a really strong opinion on this race at all. Like, it's a race I'd like to see Sakir go and win because I think he could turn out to be a superstar, but it wouldn't be one that I'd be playing with sort of stolen money. I mean, who are you with in the race?
Well, I thought you'd be tipping up Sakir because I was listening to your last podcast and I believe you gave him a positive mention. I was going to go for a rogue outsider. The fact that there is only 2 places has sort of scuppered my enthusiasm a little bit. But the horse I was interested in was Wallop. This might be a little bit of blind loyalty towards Noble Style, but Wallop's run was really full of promise on debut. Obviously, I think he was behind Noble Style and Millstream. The latter ran a really good race in the Acomb, coming from the rear that day. Lots of the horses who ran at York over that week just didn't do well coming from the rear. So the fact he did run so well is a massive positive. The winner of that, Shaldine, is now a Group 2 winner, so the form is looking good. And Noble Star went on to convincingly win the Gimcrack. Now, I know that they were getting I know that Wallop was getting a lot of weight that day, but I reckon he could take a big step forward. And did you say 16 to 1? I mean, you could go each way, but obviously 2 places, most probably not the most appealing thing in the world. But yeah, 16 to 1, I think Wallop could run well.
What a name. I still love that name, Wallop. As
Wallop
soon as that
Bosch.
goes in big capitals on Twitter, Wallop with exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And any form behind Noble Style at the moment looks red hot. I mean, the Gimcrack, I mean, Cold Case has come out and won since that Gimcrack. I mean, you had Chuzzlewit today go and win. Anything that's finished behind Noble Stars look ridiculous, and that is why Marshman next week will be winning the Middle Park. I put the horse up at 33 to 1 on Twitter. He's now 15 to 8 for the race. Let's hope he can do it. I'm actually annoyed that I didn't put him up on this channel, but I mean, I didn't really have the chance from the time the horse ran. But I'm going to claim it as a big anti-post winner if it does come in. But yeah, look, Wallop, I mean, if it does go in, I'll be so happy because I'd love to see the tweet straight after. It's a race I haven't got much opinion on. I do think Sakir's the one to beat. I think should have been a ring. Again, another horse who keeps improving run to run. I was quite impressed the last day, beating, I want to say, Rocket Rodney the last day.
Bolt
is that right?
Action.
Or was it Bolt Action is the other one? Yeah, same colours. Bolt Action the last day. But I could see that they might open up to, a horse coming as an outsider in those 2. I could see one of them potentially flopping on the day, and let's just hope Wallop does it for you. 16-1, a decent each way angle there. Right, let's head over to Ayr now for the first of two races that we're going to be looking at. We start off with a group race. It's the Group 3 over 6 furlongs, the Firth of Clyde Filly Stakes. This is for the 2-year-old fillies this time around, and Queen Me is your 13-8 favourite. Bonnie Angel is 11-2. All the time is 7-1. Maria Brownwell 10-1. Believing is 12-1 and 16s. Baaeed, and this is probably boring, Willow, but I think Queen Me will take this. Great run on her second start behind Swing Along, who I know the Carl Burke team, they think a hell of a lot of that horse there. Finished ahead of the likes of Matilda Picot, Morge, Dramatise. I mean, you've got the Queen Mary winner, the Duchess of Cambridge winner in there. I just think the form's all there for everyone to see. I know it's short, but she'll be the one for me. What about yourself?
Yeah, no, it's very difficult to look away from Queen Me, and the 13-8 on offer. Obviously, that's bigger than what I was looking at. One firm that's paying 11-8, so 13-8 probably seems a little bit too big. Her Lauva second is the best form in the race, if I'm honest with you. The same connection sent Hala Afmani to this race last year. He went on to run really well. I think beating only a length or so. If you did want to look at something at a bigger price, I looked back at a couple sort of trends for the last 9 years, and on average, you want 4 runs, roughly 2 wins, and also 7 out of the last 10 had ran in listed contests or higher prior to the race. So that put me on to Believing. She's had 5 runs, ran in a Group 3 last time out, had 2 wins. She's been holding good company as well. She ran against Moore. She's run against Lezo. Her form did drop off, but after 50-day break, she came back with a tongue tie and bounced right back to form, finishing second in that Group 3. I reckon the 10-1 looks a little bit too big, considering she had a couple horses, was ahead of a couple horses that are ahead of her in the market. So yeah, 10-1 Believing, but I do think Queen Me will be hard to beat.
Okay, yeah, Believing potentially an each way angle in the race. Queen Me, for myself, I know it's a short price favourite, not probably going to be one of my strong bets this weekend, but yeah, I think she's going to take all the beating in the Group 3 over at Ayr. And the big handicap this weekend is the Ayr Gold Cup. It's a heritage handicap over 6 furlongs, and Kanjar is your 9-2 favourite here. Summergand and Bielsa are 10-1. Comanche Falls 11-1. Mr. Wagyu, Gulliver, and 5,000-1, 14-1. 16s for Dream and Popmaster, and bigger the rest. Now I'm going to do something here that I don't often do on this channel. I'm going to put 2 horses up for the race, and both of them are Charlie Fellowes' horse. And you may all be thinking, oh, Sam, you've just gone and watched What a Shout from this week and listened to what Charlie Fellowes has had to say about his 2 runners. But yes, I have watched the show, but that's only given me more confidence behind the 2 selections that I've already put down for this race in my notes, and that's Chief of Chiefs and The Dream. Now, The Dream would be probably my number 1 for this race. She's 16-1 best price at the moment. Finished ahead of Manakan that day, the last day where we've already put this horse up for the race over at Newbury. And look, last season she was very competitive in kind of Group 3 races. She actually won a Group 3 beating Kings Lynn. I just got a feeling with this horse, this could be a massive plan. Now, she's dropped down to a mark of 103. She started the season off a mark of 108. And I just have the feeling Charlie Fellowes, this has been a big plot job this season. This could go in. Actually, was in the same race as Great Ambassador. Willow, I know you tweeted about saying that would have been a great run for the Ayr Gold Cup, and it didn't quite happen. I was hoping I could put the tweet up on the screen and say, you've mentioned it already, but it's not quite happened for you, is it?
No, it'd been cut drastically as well. I was listening throughout to the Betfair boys as well, listening to their podcast, and they were constantly saying that maybe the trainer's thinking differently to the punters here, because all of us were like going back for the Ayr Gold Cup. We've got the right mark, ran really well in it last year, but unfortunately it didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't quite. I mean, but Great Ambassador could go on to, I don't know where the horse is going to head next. We'll have to wait and see. But the other horse I like in the race, like I say, is Chief of Chiefs for the first team, 18-1. Now, he's one of the old boys in the pack at 9 years old, a horse who have lots of loved over the years, and plenty have had some good days with this horse. It was interesting to hear what Charlie Fellowes had to say about this horse, to say they've always wanted to run him in this race. There was one year where they forgot to enter him for the race, and there's already been an issue with that this week with one trainer. And last year, I think they had a niggle with the horse. So they now get the chance with Chief of Chiefs. And I've just got a feeling this horse is going to do what he always does. He's going to come late. Whether he can get there in time, I don't know. Now, the pace should be strong enough in an Ayr Gold Cup. It usually is. Now, my one worry would be I don't want him to be too far back, because as they come in at Ayr, you just sometimes they just kick and you just can't quite get to them, and that'd be my one worry. So I wouldn't want him too far off the pace, but if he's close enough, just kind of sitting probably to the back end of the midfield pack, I think he's going to end up finishing strongly. I think 18 to 1's a fair price, but look, for Dream or Chief of Chiefs, Charlie Fellows to win the race. Unfortunately, we're not a bookmaker, so we can't offer any price boosts on that. But yeah, if Charlie Fellows wins the race, the Ayr Gold Cup on Saturday, I'll be very, very happy. What about yourself, Willa?
This is my nap. So shall I go with it or
Ooh.
shall I save it?
Yeah, no, go with it, because then I'll just remember you've got to put it up.
Okay, Mr. Wagyu.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I love this horse. He is a really, really consistent horse, and I think he's well worth a play. What odds did you say? Well, sorry.
I've got here 14s.
14s. What are they offering? Like 5 or 6 places as well.
Boastful.
Yeah, his form at the track, just reading here, is 131.253. His most recent third came in this race last year, and he's only £4 higher, but arguably in better form than last year. Since his win at Epsom, his form has just been really rock solid. He picked up a win at the Curragh. He's placed a couple times and comes off the back of what was a mega run this past weekend at the Curragh, when beaten, I think it was just under a length, and he was finishing third. I have no issue with him backing up quickly because he did the same thing last year off of Doncaster instead of the Curragh. I have no issues if the ground was to go soft. He's just so admirable. And at those prices, with each way odds available, I think he has to be a big bet.
Wow, Mr. Wagyu, fairly strong, 14 to 1. I mean, one horse that I haven't really mentioned, the horse is very short compared to the rest of them, is Kanjar. Now, this horse here is interesting, possibly with the odds as short as they are. Potentially, a lot of people are seeing this as the group horse in a handicap, as we often reference. And it's William Haggas, Jim Crowley in those Shadwell Silks. And look, the last day looked very good. It's been very consistent, actually, this season. 2 wins and a third in a decent handicap. And I've just got a feeling that, he could really, I mean, well, the main thing is he could be anything, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could cut this field apart, absolutely. Arguably, you could say that he should be unbeaten this season, but that one loss did come in a massive field. He finished third, and he just got caught too far back and just stayed on. And again, there would be a fear that something similar like that could happen today. Both his wins came in 6-runner fields. I'm always going to take on a horse at that odds in a 25-runner race, but yeah, of course, he stands a very, very good chance.
Yeah, he's the unexposed one in the field. He could be anything, and like I said, 3-year-old improving. You never know what you're going to get. But yeah, we're going to be taking the horse on. I'm going to be with Chief of Chiefs and the Dream and Mr. Wagyu as the nap for Willow. We'll get onto those right about now, and we'll get the nap and next best. We already know Willow's nap, so I'll tell you what. I'll give my next best first, and my next best is going to come in the Ayr Gold Cup, and it is going to be the Dream at 16 to 1. Who's your next best? We know then that's Mr. Wagyu. Who's the next best this weekend, Willow?
I'd be going for Baaeed because I think he still could. I think there's a lot of improvement still to come from him, providing he can get back onto the right trajectory. I think he stands a really good chance.
Okay, and my nap will come in the same race. I think Manican will be going in. So yeah, that's interesting. We're taking each other on with our naps and next best, but kind of in the opposite order. But hopefully one of us comes out on top.
Yeah, no, fingers crossed. I'd have a nice little bet on the side of you for it if you'd like.
A little match on camera. We'll have to wait and see. Right, there we go. Hopefully, I mean, the nap and next best are already on the screen. Hopefully, we found you a few winners during the show. That's it for the weekend preview. Will, I think I'm going to be seeing you on Sunday. We haven't seen each other actually since Cheltenham. I remember seeing you at Cheltenham in the Guinness Village, but I'm going to be seeing you at the Henrik Cecil Open weekend on Sunday. It should be a great weekend. Is there anyone, I mean, we've seen most of the lineup on Twitter of what horses could be turning up and on shows. Anyone you're particularly looking forward to?
Off the top of my head, there's no one in particular. Obviously going to get there early enough. I think at 8 o'clock start, and my goal is to try and snap some pictures of Baaeed doing that morning canter. I think that'll be a nice one because I've only ever seen him live once, and that was again in what was a canter, the Lockinge this year. So I'd like to see him, and obviously to have a nice little coffee and a walk around with you. It'd be lovely.
Come say hello, of course. Yeah, it'd be great to see you. And are you going to be seeing Baaeed? Have you put your ticket for Champions Day yet?
I haven't booked a ticket for Champions Day. Have you got your ticket booked?
Oh yeah, I go every year, but I can't wait to see him run again.
Do you know what? I'll have to get it booked then. I'll have to get it booked. Is Jack going as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, Jack will be there. Yeah,
Yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there.
that's the last time we were seen at Ascot together was when Sealaway won the Champion Stakes for both of us, and there was pandemonium for both of us after
Oh,
putting that up.
boys.
I mean, it won't be the same in the Champion Stakes this year. I'm sure we'll have I don't know, we might have an anti-post look, me and Jack at the Champions Day. We'll have to wait and see. And with you, obviously, the jump season's coming. I know you're very similar to me, and you don't kind of switch focus to the National Hunt season until kind of Champions Day's finished. I mean, you, Jake Price, Dan over, was the jump show going to be back this year?
Yeah, the jump show's going to be back this year. We've got a few things in the pipeline. Maybe even some videos that you and Jack and a few others could get involved with as well. So we're not just our tight-knit group of three. But yeah, no, I am the same as you. Haven't moved over to that side yet, but those boys, they're on my case. I mean, Dan's got articles up with Racing TV. They're seeing Josh and ABW make their videos on the jump, so they're keen for it. And I'm just trying to hold them back a couple more weeks. Let me enjoy the Arc and Champions Day first.
Yeah, we've got so many good weekends to come. I mean, we've got the Middle
Exactly.
Park and Cheveley Park next week. We then got, the Arc, the Phillies Mile. We've got so many good races. The Dewhurst is all still to come. And then obviously Champions Day. So looking forward to that. Well, hopefully, like I say, Willow's found us plenty of winners on his. I'm going to call this like your unofficial like debut for Next Generation because it's been a while. So hopefully we found some good price winners. I'd love to do it. Maybe we can get Jack off the show. I mean, let us know down in the comments if you want to get rid of Jack because we can replace him very easily. It's not hard. I mean, it could be me and Willow. I mean, the comments are going to come for you potentially, Willow here saying they don't want you. So I do apologise.
Well, when Mr. Wagyu bolts up, they'll know who they really want. For sure.
Yeah, Jack can stay in Antigua. He's living life out there. But yeah, as always, thanks everyone for watching this show. I know it's not the big weekend everyone's looking forward to, but hopefully, like I say, we found winners. Let us know down in the comments who you're going to be backing this weekend. Do subscribe, and we will see you very soon.